Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. They go play action here on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run now with Ware. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Named an All-Pro for the first time in 2017, cornerback Xavier Rhodes relishes the challenge of guarding the game's top wide receivers. He'll trail them anywhere, even into the opposing backfield, to make big-time plays.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw here. That's Samuel caught left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that block.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you box.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Looking to throw on second down. Boyle. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Yeah, good game catching the ball at the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Well, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. They'll halt play here for an injury as Christian McCaffrey is slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here we go.
They'll drop to throw. And it's complete. Hooper. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this will be incomplete. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Now let's go. Green 30.
Back to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield.
Here we go now. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get it down here to the 43. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
On first down, Boyle. Escaping, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Chandler Jones in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100, and what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Operating from the gun, Boyle, and he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Open man as Thielen is complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was something a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Now a first carry for their fullback. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with 3rd and just a couple.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Set. Green, 30.
On 3rd down, it's Love. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, this from 34. Carlson able to put this one through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less than the field goal attempt for him.
So a decent game, still all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
from the shotgun. He'll look to throw. And incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Back to throw here. And he's got his target. That's more. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On the ground, this is Ware. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. You know, projections for him were a little all over the board. Some saw him as a day 3 pick, maybe a little bit higher, but here he is, round 3.
I do know teams that had him listed as a first-round talent. I also had teams that had him listed as a day 3 guy, which is rounds 4 through 7. So him going in the third round kind of fit in the middle. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder wanting to prove that he should have been taken higher.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General Madden.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Brandon Graham able to drop him for a loss of 12, and it'll be fourth down. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
He ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Looking to throw. Boyle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchdown. And the Panthers coming out now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, landed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Funches with a catch over the middle. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
But that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he's on to kick it away. That's taken on the 25. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 70 yards. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
Back to throw. Boyle. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. It's their quarterback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Well, that was a quick hitter drive. They had the huge play to get him down near the goal line, and then they run it in. I don't know that the defense ever had a chance to catch their breath.
A lot of the time now when we see people hit big plays, and each team defines a big play their own way, 10, 15-yard gains. In this case, it was a huge gain. They often want to hurry up and go right away. Keep the momentum going, hit them again, and I think we just saw that there. The second play resulted in pay dirt.
Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when they clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
McCaffrey following the penalty. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. It's a gain of 3, and it sets him up with 2nd and just 2 yards to go. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. He'll look to throw. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Austin Hooper, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On 1st and 10, Boyle. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, Boyle. Throw left side complete. It's Love. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain him.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big game, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw on second down, Boyle. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown, as his guys are in for 6, and the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination. Yeah,
a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. Another run, this time McCaffrey. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Here we go now. Green.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And this will complete right side to Funchess. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So we hit halftime with our And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On the give, this is their fullback. Eluding the tackle. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Throwing on first down. Boyle. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Throwing again. Boyle. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Operating from the gun. Boyle. And Dwayne Allen on the ground. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because They handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he's taken down inside the 30. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 in rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Down to the 25. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. First time they've looked his way in this game, he comes through picking up the first.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 6 there on first. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Boyle looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Love. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. He'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Barthema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Boyle. He can run for it, and he will. And he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th.
All right, here we go.
To throw on 2nd down, Boyle, and he's got it. Got his man on the end route, complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Boyle. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Granted, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. On third down, Boyle. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Chandler Jones in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again. Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They're going to look to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Brandon Graham in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
To throw on 2nd down. Boyle. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Call it a gain of 3. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
To throw on 3rd down. Boyle. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. run it on the toss. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Carlson is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Looking to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Sideline throw, that's caught by Moore. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Now you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and then completion.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Mike Hughes, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. That's what I do.
One final kneel down here, and that should just about do it. And they cannot do anything to stop the clock defensively. 3 straight wins to start the campaign now.
And this is where a team, privately, within the confines of their own room, their meeting rooms, the locker room, they start to think to themselves, we're pretty good. We should be a playoff team.
In the National Football League, Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility.